All right, guys, good morning, or good afternoon, or good night, or wherever you guys are at. Here it's morning, 8 o'clock, 5 a.m. Ouch. Yeah, that's tough. 5 a.m. is tough, but if you're up for it, that's crazy. Congrats on the discipline. So as you know, I'm waking up this morning with probably a $200 loss on Nvidia. I went for it. It's one of the. I think I went for. Which one did I? What else did I play? I think Nvidia was. I think I played one other one. I forgot what it was. Was it Netflix? It was Netflix, but I did well on that. Netflix I got a nice return on. I made about $900 on Netflix. So overall, I think I'm still positive on the two earning YOLOs that I took this Q1 or this quarter earnings, but yeah, Nvidia sort of screwed me. Nvidia did nothing, guys, on earnings. It happens. It's definitely a possible outcome. We saw really good numbers as expected, right? I think we all expected them to have good numbers, but the market reaction is just not there. So it is what it is. I'll hold on to them just to see what happens today, but it's gonna be about a probably $200 loss there. So that is just a good example of why playing earnings consistently is just a terrible trading strategy. It's not a trading strategy. It's just gambling. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Dash did well. Walmart did well. So there's some good names out there, but Nvidia just didn't seem to want to move. So we'll look at the market today, guys. It's just so sideways. We are still in such a sideways, choppy market, as you guys can see, as the title of this live stream. It's just a total chop fest out here. And part of me just wants to, and I think it's probably best. I know it's hard to step away from the market because you want to try to catch an opportunity every day. But part of me just wants to say, hey, hang it up for a little bit until you see some real movement. I know there's intraday moves on individual stocks. You can definitely catch some plays to both the upside and downside, but it's much more difficult now to pick the right one, to find the right move with the market just going so sideways. So right now is just not an ideal time for buying premium. It's a good time for selling premium, and it's a good time to invest in your long-term portfolio. And that's mostly what I've been focusing on is continuing to invest in long-term, continuing to accumulate shares. I've been trying to take a little bit of a step back on buying premium because it's just not an ideal thing right now. And I have to understand that. I can't just continue to be aggressive on looking for upside or downside because it's just not there. So let's see what happens, guys. We're again very choppy. We're again in the same exact channel that we talk about every single time in this live stream, right? We talk about the same channel for the last 2 weeks. I'm sure you guys are getting very bored of hearing the same thing. Unfortunately, I wish I could give you something more, and we'll see what happens. Here's trader struggling. It's been easier for you. Yeah, maybe whatever strategy you're using is maybe just ideal in this situation. For me, I like to see strong continuation moves and on the market. And when I don't see it on the market, I don't have confidence. So I don't know if you guys watched my last video. I just don't have a lot of confidence right now in my trading because I just don't see the market participation. So every move that I'm looking at, I always double guess it. I always second guess myself. Maybe some people that maybe don't worry about what the overall market's doing as much could sort of keep a blind eye to that and just take the advantage or take the situation that they're looking at. For me, whenever I'm about to get into a position, I'm always like, I always have the Nasdaq up in this top left chart, and I'm always looking at it, and I'm like, man, I mean, yeah, Nvidia looks good here, but I mean, the Nasdaq's doing nothing. It's just been chopped for the last 15 minutes. Do I really want to get into Nvidia right now? So that's the indecision that I've been dealing with because of how much I focus on the overall market. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, but I'm just an open book, guys. I'm just letting you know what's going on with me right now. I'm just having a difficult time trusting moves when I see the Nasdaq for the last 2 weeks do nothing. So we'll see how it is. Let's see what it is. And we just got to be patient. I know, like, every day it's hard to be patient in the market. It's hard. Like, it's only been 2 weeks, right? That's what we need to remember. It's only been about 2 weeks, even though it feels like a lifetime. But we just got to stay patient. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We'll talk about the normal stuff: futures, economic, earnings calendar. What else is out there? Nvidia rip. My Nvidia calls rip. We'll talk about Nvidia. I think, is it slightly moving this morning? Yeah, it's slightly moving up this morning. We'll see if it really gets into anything, but probably not. Upstart. Nice continuation on Upstart. Nice. I did not expect this. I thought this move was going to get faded into, but it looks like there's some type of like buy algorithm that's just going on this stock, to be honest. I mean, it's just a consistent upside move. Very solid on the 9 EMA, just sort of every minute, just sort of grinding higher. It looks like there's just a lot of buying going on here. So yeah, let's take a look at Upstart today, guys. I mean, this could definitely be a one that gives us at least some type of movement. It definitely gave some type of movement yesterday morning, and maybe it gives some type of movement today. It looks very good in the pre-market. It's up about $8 a share. Just about $8 a share in the pre-market. So looks very good. Upstart. Amazon and Visa had a little deal this morning. Not sure how big of a deal it is, but Amazon is strong. It was strong yesterday, and Visa is pushing up higher this morning as well. So we'll look at those two, Amazon and Visa. Dash, big earnings move on Dash. Makes sense. I didn't really read into their earnings, but I could only imagine how many people have been using services like DoorDash. Let me see if I have JP Morgan adjust price target. So you got some downgrades this morning on the price targets, but yeah, their revenue tops pandemic record. We'll look a little bit more into this, but yeah, Dash had a very nice move on earnings, so maybe there's some continuation there. Walmart this morning, guys, reported earnings, strong earnings. Didn't quite beat the expected move of $6, so it sort of it moved about half of what was expected. But you are getting some sympathy upside on Target as well, so keep an eye on the retailers today off that Walmart move. Shop, guys, just dead. I mean, Shop got crushed yesterday. 733. I really don't see much support on this stock until now, around 700. So, yeah, as in rest in peace. So, not the stock as a whole, John. It's my position. I think 700 on Shop is probably going to come in here. I mean, I don't see much support, so we'll look at Shop. It's getting crushed, and I think there's downgrades this morning. Yeah, some downgrades this morning as well. So Shopify is in the hot seat right now, man. A lot of a lot of downgrades. Citigroup, Roth Capital, Mizuho, Canaccord. I'm not sure. Never heard of that one. Stifel, RBC, Morgan Stanley. All of them. Price cut. So a lot of price cuts on Shopify this morning. AbbVie. Monster of a name, guys. AbbVie. I thought it was going to slow down with healthcare, and it did not. Healthcare has not moved. Healthcare has been flat since I sold my position. So I thought, hey, the logical thing would be, hey, healthcare is starting to slow down. I think AbbVie slows down as well. Nope. AbbVie has gone straight up. It has continued to go higher. It's good. It's good and it's bad, right? Because I have shares. I got my dividends. That I love that. But I did have some 110 calls not too long ago that I did get rid of. Didn't want to put my liquidity into it, which, maybe I'm a little upset I didn't, but you can't think like that, right? I got the shares that I already have. I got the options gain that, I made off that, which was an awesome profit. But AbbVie just keeps on going higher. It's a wild stock. And then finally, guys, XLE. Let's talk about energy. Let's talk about, what happens next here. What needs to happen for it to continue? What will cause it to move back lower? Let's sort of talk about that to end the stream, and then we'll go over what you guys want to look at. If you are a member of the stream, if you're a member of the YouTube channel, you can go to the Google Docs and put in your tickers for today. So make sure to do that if you are a member of the channel. All right, so let's get started. Today we had some earnings release. Let's pull up the earnings calendar real quick. Let's remind ourselves of what's going on here. Here we go. So Nvidia was yesterday, got nothing on it. DoorDash was nice. Fastly. Cisco was another one that did really well. Today, you had Palantir. What did Palantir do? Little drop. Yeah, drop on Palantir there. That's nasty. Walmart was nice, Fiverr. And then today after close, you got Roku, Dropbox, Shake Shack, Redfin. I don't know some of these other ones, but Roku should be interesting. I'm not going to play it. I've never done good on Roku. I don't know if I've ever taken a winning swing trade on Roku. So not going to play Roku, but that should be interesting because that thing is beat the crap. So we'll see what happens. And then Friday before open, DraftKings is pretty interesting as well. So that's that. Next, the economic calendar. Let's see what we got over there. Make sure we all know what's going on here in the economy. So today, jobless claims is the normal 8:30 Thursday stuff. So 8:30 today, jobless claims. Let's see what that has to say. You got some Fed president speaking later, but this is not like major stuff. This is 5 p.m., maybe 11 o'clock. Oh, you got James Bullard speaking. Uh-oh. All right, hold on. Yeah, maybe this is 11 o'clock, guys. 11 o'clock, Bullard is speaking. And this is the guy that's very hawkish. And the guy that caused the market to panic in the first place about interest rate spikes or raises. So 11 o'clock today, James Bullard will be speaking. St. Louis Fed president, 11 o'clock. Make sure you're aware of that. That could definitely cause some volatility today, or at least some type of movement in the name. It might just revert back to where it was, but this will probably cause some increased volume, some questionable moves that go on in the market. James Bullard. So 11 o'clock. And then tomorrow, Friday, nothing too much. Nothing too much tomorrow. He's coming for your calls. Yeah. James Bullard is coming to eat your calls up. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it says it on here. I'm just going off what this says here, guys. So if he's not speaking, I'm not aware, but I'm just going off what James Bullard has to say here. Or what the economic calendar has to say. Hawkish is when someone just is sort of like more aggressive for things that could hurt the market, I guess. You're less tendent to do something that would be comfortable for the market. A dovish person is someone that's going to do whatever they can to sort of relax the emotions and just sort of not freak out in the market. Hawkish is like the person that takes the extraordinary step to get things, whether it's good, whether it's bad, they always go for it, and they don't really care about the market reaction. So a hawk would be basically a hawkish person would say, raise rates now, everything now, we're screwed. That's a hawkish person. A dovish person would say, let's hold off on the rate hikes. I think we're okay. Let's see how it works out. And it's sort of that different mentality. All right, so that's that. Let's get into the futures, guys. Let's get into the futures. So I got nothing new for you, to be quite honest. I mean, this is the exact same spot we were in yesterday. I got nothing. We are still within this range, and part of me just says stop trading calls or puts, to the upside. Or, directionally until you see this move. That's part of what my mind is telling me. Maybe I start, thinking about selling premium in this market, or just continuing to focus on the long-term portfolio. I'm always going to be someone that focuses on my financial goals more than just, making YouTube videos. So my financial goals right now, I think, should be focusing on accumulating shares. I'm always gonna, you got to be selfish with your financials, right, guys? You got to be selfish. Even anyone listening, You got to do what's best for you. And I think the best for me right now is just to focus on the long term, accumulate my shares in this little sideways chop, and don't put on too much risk in this market. If I start to see this type of move and I can start to enter some swing trades, up onto the upside, that would be great. But we're just not getting that. So right now, I'm definitely playing a big defensive role in my trading because I don't want to lose money. That's not what I'm trying to do in this market because it would really hurt me to lose a lot of money in this type of environment. Because you look back at this, right? If you've been losing money in this market, it's just tough because you would probably look back at this and you would say, hey, this thing has done nothing. Why am I even trading in this here? Like, what's the point of trading this? I'm not missing out on anything. You haven't missed out on a single thing if you did not trade for the last month, right? You haven't missed out on anything. So just, keep that mentality in your head. I think it will save a lot of people. I'm just looking out for, people that maybe are getting chopped up here. I'm trying to play as much defense as possible. I just don't feel like I'm missing out on anything here. It's just nothing. The guys in the Discord know I've taken very little trades. I just don't find anything I really like, and I usually just step away. So I'm waiting for one of these moves, guys. I'm waiting for this, or I'm waiting for this. And once I see that, then yeah, I want to strike. But until that happens, I think you guys want to play some defense, and that's why I titled today's live stream "Playing Defense" because I really think this is a defensive. I think this is a defensive time. And you guys know, like Matt Diamond, I'm big, Matt Diamond's awesome. I'm sure a lot of you guys watch him as well. He didn't even take a trade yesterday, and I think he was smart to do that. I'm happy to see him, doing the same thing. Playing defense, not taking directionally biased trades in this situation. This is a great time for option sellers. It's an absolutely fantastic time because the IV is high and the stocks aren't moving. So congratulations to any of the Theta Gang guys out there that are watching. If you're a Theta Gang, let us know in the chat because you're probably killing it right now. Theta Gang right now is the way to go because the IV is extremely high, so option premiums are extremely high, and you can get a lot for selling premium, and the stocks are not moving. That's like the heaven for Theta Gang. That is definitely the move right now. So that's the Nasdaq, guys, just in a nutshell. I think you really want to wait here. Here's the hourly chart. You guys can see we have just done absolutely nothing. Last 3 days, we have been at basically the same level. Maybe, give or take about 100 points on the Nasdaq. So that's that. That's the Nasdaq today. If you want to see any chance of upside momentum today, I think you need to break this high around 14,660, right in that area, 14,665, right up in this high from Wednesday. I think you got to break that. That's a must break right there. If you break that, then you probably need to break the next level here around 750. If you start to break some of these levels today, guys, then maybe there's a chance for some momentum right around there. You guys can see. If you want to join the Theta Gang, credit spreads, selling puts, selling calls, just selling, not buying. Iron condors, any kind of spreads, not debit spreads. I would probably do credit spreads. That's a selling spread. Get a credit for your, what you're selling. So for example, like what you could do is sell credit spreads, let's say you did a Tesla credit spread. Let's say you sold, Tesla's a risky one because it's a very volatile stock, but let's say you just, started selling 800 credit spreads and you just, you said, hey, I just want the stock to stay above 800. As long as Tesla stays above 800 until your expiration, you win. That's definitely a not a bad strategy during this time. Nvidia was a great one to sell on because you guys saw it didn't really move on earnings. Option sellers got a ton of money on this one. All right, so that's the Nasdaq. Let's keep going though. ES, Same exact story, right? On the ES 4-hour chart. Here you go. We just are not going anywhere. This is the 4-hour. Terrified to get into selling options. You just gotta, I mean, you just don't want to sell them naked. Like, you don't want to sell a naked put, or, you know, as long as you have the cash. You know, selling puts and selling calls can be dangerous if you don't have the cash. But yeah, you just gotta manage. Just yeah, make sure you learn about it before you guys do anything. Don't get into selling stuff without understanding what's going on. That's the number one thing. Learn about it. Get comfortable with it. If you're scared to do it, then don't do it. You don't want to be scared in any investing strategy that you are going on. So here's the ES, guys. Just sideways since January 21st, so about a month now. And we just need to see something happen here. Over the last few days, you guys can see, this is the last 3 days on the ES. The last 3 days on the ES, man. Look at this. There's your last 3 days. 1, 2, and here's today. Let's see what happens today. Can we break out of this little area, or are we just going to do this again? And if we do this again, then if we do this again, then you won't be seeing many trades from me today. So I'm looking to see if we can get any movement here on the ES. Yeah, unlimited downside. You gotta, most people sell, cash covered puts, cash secured puts. That's a great way to invest in the long term. So, if you, just a real quick lesson, guys, if you guys, let's say you want to buy Apple at, let's say you've always wanted to invest in Apple, or let's say you like Apple shares at 157, right? You're saying, hey, I'll buy Apple shares at 157. I have the money to do it. I have the cash in my portfolio to buy shares of Apple at 157. What you can do is you can sell some 157 puts, right? Sell some 157 puts. If they do not get into the money, right? If Apple just stays up here by your expiration and they don't get in the money, you collect that premium and you do not, and you just continue to do it. If you get, and let's say Apple does fall. Let's say Apple does fall, and and it comes down into your, it becomes in the money. Then you just have to buy. You have to buy those shares. If you hold them into expiration, then you just have to buy the shares, and that was your original plan anyway, right? So you lose your premium, but you get to buy the shares at 156, and you can just continue to hold those. You can continue to hold those shares, and then you can do the wheel, right? Then you can sell calls. The wheel strategy. So look it up. Yeah, you just need a little bit more capital. That's, of course, what you need. Here's the Dow, guys. Hourly chart on the Dow. Not much. Sort of just chilling at that golden zone. You guys can see right here, sort of just chilling at that 34.7, right? 34.7, just sort of chilling, not doing much. We need to see some movement there. Russell sort of stuck here over the last few days. The Russell's been completely flat. And we need to see, that 2100 push. Average 6K month with wheel option strategy. Very nice, Dan. If you don't mind, could you give us some kind of insight on how much capital you're using for that? Because I don't want people to get, the wrong opinion of that. Because that definitely takes some capital. It's a pretty capitally intensive to make that much a month. But, either way, I'm not hating on you. Just want to make sure people stay perspective as to making 6K a month with the wheel definitely includes a lot of capital. Just, if you guys have it, it's definitely, a great thing. That's definitely something that I want to, when I get older and I accumulate a large portfolio, that's definitely what I want to do. I want to just focus on, selling against my shares to bring in consistent income. I know someone in our chat, Sierra, does that. He has a lot of shares, and he just continues to sell against them. It's a great thing to do once you can accumulate that portfolio. So that should always be the goal. That's why my goal is to accumulate a large portfolio. That's always the goal. I think for a lot of people's goal should be to accumulate shares, because you can do a lot of option strategies if you have a large portfolio, if you accumulate shares. It's very nice. All right. So Nvidia just did not, just didn't do much, guys. You can see just we needed to move about $25. So we needed to get up to around right around 290, and we are just not there. Not in any what not at all. Not anywhere close. So yeah, so Dan, 75,000 capital, using margins carefully. So that's just, it's a great example of, guys, if you can just accumulate shares, accumulate and save money. There are a lot of option strategies out there that you can take advantage of as when you start to accomplish that. So some people's your goal should be to and it's definitely one of mine, is just to continue to add to my long term, because if I can get 1,000 shares of Apple in the long term, over a long period of time, I could sell 10 covered calls a week that are pretty far out of the money, that have a high chance of not hitting, and I can just accumulate that wealth every single week. Or I can sell monthlies. 10 covered calls of, let's say I sell 10 covered calls of the 190s, something that I don't think is going to hit, right? Selling like the 190s, selling the 185s. Maybe it's a small premium, but a very low chance of getting taken out. And I just continue to collect that premium week over week over week until the stock goes higher. And then, then you do the flip side and you do the wheel. All right. So that's the Nvidia. Let's go over to Upstart, guys. Nothing much on Nvidia. We'll see what happens today. Let's see if that thing continues to move, but I doubt it. Upstart. Sorry, the stream's been a little off topic today, guys, but I think some decent things to talk about. Maybe we'll need to have like a strategy discussion. So Upstart, very nice continuation, guys. Yesterday's price action was very strange to me. It was just it was almost like a algo buying. It was just very consistent on this EMA. This isn't the EMA, but you can imagine this is sort of what the EMA looked like. It just continued to ride higher here. Up and up and up and up. Started to fail a little bit at 150. So right at that 150 level, guys, it started to fail yesterday, right here, right at that 150. But today you got through it. So I would definitely keep an eye on Upstart today for continuation. Absolutely. I mean, this is a pretty nice little, it probably is a little bit of a short squeeze after, all these shorts probably were piled in. Probably getting a little bit of a short squeeze. Watch these highs of 163. You can see right here, previous high, previous high, previous high, and then previous support back here. So 163, I would probably watch that right here, 163. Watch that level. And then just continue to watch these lows and highs, guys. If this thing keeps going, just continue to go these lows and highs. All right, just continue to watch the previous lows, previous highs. But I would just I would keep an eye on Upstart today. Maybe some more momentum. To be honest, guys, I was looking to see if I could play this to the downside yesterday, and I sent a message out saying that I'm potentially thinking about Upstart to the downside, but I'm going to wait until after FOMC because I don't want to get into anything before FOMC because I didn't know the reaction that was going to happen. I'm not going to try to guess what happens on FOMC. So I was thinking Upstart downside, thinking this move would fade, but it did not. FOMC held it up, and I said, hey, no more. That's not interested anymore because that thing looks strong. Because my opinion, I thought this move would fade and fill this gap. That is sort of what I was thinking. I was thinking Upstart would push higher, gap up, and you guys can see this gap on the daily chart. I was thinking that Upstart would eventually fade and fill the gap below, which maybe still happens, but as of right now, guys, I would not put yourself into that situation. It's too strong right now. So Upstart, upside, looks pretty good. Make sure to keep an eye on that one today. Amazon is, I feel like Amazon's setting up for something. It looks pretty good on the daily chart. It really does. However, I just need to be aware of some of this resistance. So I'm going to point out where I'm watching the resistance here. First level is right around here, around 3,200. That 3,200 looks a little tough. Right there, 32, watch that. And then 33 also looks pretty tough. So these two levels, 3,200, 3,300, have some previous support that looks like it could turn into resistance. But look at this daily chart here. I mean, this is a nice little flag setup in my opinion. It feels like Amazon is sort of flagging and maybe looking to do another push right here. So I'm definitely going to be watching Amazon. I like the push. I like the hold right around 3,100. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we can sort of see that flag that's setting up. You can see it right here. You have this little flag pattern starting to break out yesterday, and you guys know Amazon was a pretty strong mover yesterday. So let's see what happens today on Amazon. I think this has a little bit of momentum behind it, and I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm gonna go to the jobless claims in a second. They also had some news this morning. Amazon and Visa reached global deal on credit cards. So Amazon reaches global deal to accept Visa credit cards. So I'm not sure how much that's going to affect Amazon. Probably not at all. But there is probably going to be some movement on Visa. Here's Visa, guys, real quick. Before we get into the jobless claims, Visa is actually holding up pretty nicely. You guys can see here this little 220 level. Look how it sort of retested that 220 and held. It's actually pretty nice. So here's Visa. You have this 220 area that looks to be like a neckline. You can see a little support here, resistance here, some support here. The only problem I have is Visa could very well just get stuck in this range right here. So Visa a little bit higher this morning. Let's see if it maybe pushes off this little flag. If it can maybe do a little breakout here. Visa off this flag, maybe into that 236. Maybe. But it looks a little bit like it just sort of looks like a difficult area for Visa. You guys can see it's pretty choppy. Visa's Visa. It's not a huge mover. And you have pretty big upside resistance up here at 236. So just be careful of that. All right, so we got some jobless claims that just came out, guys. Let's see what the market reaction is right now. Right now, just nothing. Jobless claims rise to 248. Estimated was 219. So jobless claims are a little bit higher. I mean, do we move off that? Probably not, guys. I don't see it yet in the news tab. I'm waiting to see if I can find it. What is this? There's some news that just came out on CNBC. Tesla CEO Musk accuses SEC of calculated effort to chill his right to free speech. That's funny. Let's see what happens there. Walmart tops quarterly earnings. I don't see jobless claims yet. Yeah, I mean, I guess more jobless claims means further away from interest rate hikes, but I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Yeah. I mean, bad news is good news with the jobless claims. However, I think the reaction to jobless claims is becoming less and less and less. Like on the actual report, I think it comes into the decision making, right? But on the actual report day, like today at 8:30, it's just not really moving the needle anymore. I haven't seen a big move happen on jobless claims in a long time. So, yeah, I know it'll affect the mindset of the Fed and what they do, as the data comes in, but 8:30 on a Thursday, I just don't see the reaction as much anymore. You guys have probably noticed that too. But it's something to keep in mind for, future decisions and see how we're progressing there. So there's the Nasdaq. It's not moving. Let's continue. Dash. Big move on Dash, guys. Oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah, it's still a big move. But, yeah, starting to sell off a little bit. Is this a move that fades? I don't know. If you break this 112, I think it could fade. So you got your push. You're getting your fade. The daily chart would sort of where did we push into? Did we push into that resistance? Ooh, yeah. Let me get a little bit more time here. So why I think we could fade is that you are coming into a pretty tough resistance level here, right? Look at this. So you got previous lows all here, previous lows here, and look at the exact spot that we pushed into. Look at that. See that green area? See where we rejected? What is that green area? That is right here, guys. Let me get the 360 back. That is right there. So, is this a fade? I definitely will be watching it because it definitely is in some pretty heavy area. Going to be tough to get the buyers to push it through that 125, 130. Support, 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 support. Push back into it. Rejection. Rejection. Is that the 200 SMA? Yep, sure is. On the 4 hour. Look at that. Right into it. Which is also a confluence with these heavy levels. So be careful there, guys. That's big. That's a big level. I would not, just buy calls on this thing thinking it's just going to break right through. I would be very careful. That is a monster resistance level there where it rejected off of this morning, right here at 126, 127. And you can see it's starting to fade. If it pushes back into it, you are going to want to see a clear push through. You're not going to want to try to guess. Don't buy this move. Please. Don't buy this move and get screwed. Wait for something that actually pushes higher, actually starts to support here, something like this, and then pushes again, right? I would not push it and trade this move here. Wait for the break, wait for the retest, wait for it to prove to you that it's actually holding. Don't just try to trade the breakout because that's a very big level. Be careful there, guys. Don't want to see anyone get into a fake breakout. All right, Walmart. What a chop fest this looks like. Holy crap. Look at this on Walmart. Nice. So Walmart had good earnings. I think I saw some really good numbers. Let's see. Revenue rise, issues 2023 targets. Net sales exceeds 150 billion. Jeez, man, that's a lot. Annual dividend. They increased the dividend. That's nice. So good stuff from Walmart. It's also at a very nice support level, I will say. Let me go to the 4 hour chart. Let me clean up this chart because it's a mess right now. Okay. Let me clean up this chart. Make sure we're not all freaked out here. All right, guys. So here is 135. This is a big level for Walmart. We're back above it. Do we hold above it? That's the question. That's what I'll be looking for. Can we hold above this 135 today? That is a big level. Look at the weekly chart. You guys can see it. Big level. It looks like it's starting to give it up, but this earnings may have just saved it, right? Earnings may have saved it back above 135. So let's see if Walmart pushes higher off this earnings and holds this 135. That is a big level. Support. And we need to see that higher. Yeah, it looks like a lower low here. It definitely is on the weekly. But just keep an eye on any reaction on earnings. But yeah, it's definitely creating lower lows right now. Absolutely. You can see right there. It actually sort of rejecting right off of that, isn't it? Yeah, be careful of that. Look at that downtrend. Look at where it rejected this morning. So watch that. You need to hold this 135 today, guys. I wouldn't buy it today. I would just wait to see if it holds 135. Target, getting a little bit of sympathy. What the hell's going on over here? What did I draw over here? Looks like I went down on this drawing. Target, you're getting a little bit of sympathy to the upside on Target today. Not much. Target's been a weak stock recently. If you go to the daily chart, look at this thing. It just hasn't really found much support. It just continues to slip. This 210 level doesn't seem to be holding. And then to the weekly chart, it looks like it probably could slip into the 194s. That's sort of where I'd be watching it. So we saw a little bit of sympathy this morning. It's up slightly this morning, Target. I would be a little bit careful. You're getting just some sympathy on the Walmart earnings. I would probably look for this 194 on Target. This thing just continues to slip. Just a falling knife right now, it seems. We'll see. I'm going to keep an eye on it and see if Walmart does anything for sympathy on it on the move. But right now, I'm just going to sort of keep a close eye on it and not really do much else. Shopify. Man, oh man, what a day yesterday was for Shop. Earnings came out. I think they guided lower. Yeah, they guided lower, which is not good, guys. If a company guides lower, that's a death wish. EPS missed. Wow, they missed on the top and bottom line. Oh, yeah, I don't know if Shop's coming back anytime soon here. Missed top and bottom line and a guide lower. There's not going to be a lot of people that are going to be dying to get it back into this thing. But yeah, that's not good for. I mean, if it would have beat top and bottom and maybe exceeded, expectations and guided higher, and maybe this dip would have looked like an opportunity, but I don't think people are willing to be investing in companies right now that are missing top and bottom and guiding lower. That's no bueno. So it's hard to look at a support level here on Shop because it's not very clear. If I zoom out, I would say 700 would be the first level I'd watch. So 700, sort of some of this previous consolidation back here. You guys can see right here, 700 right here. I would probably look for that 700. If that 700 does not hold, guys, then you're going to be coming down. I mean, you could be coming down to this 540 area. There's really not much here. Look at how quickly this stock shot up here between April and May. Just a straight up move there. So if you do not hold that 700, I think the next level is probably around 550 because this is a big gap. It's not really that strong of consolidation. That's a really ugly wedge breakdown. You can see it right here. Look at this little wedge that was forming. And that is a bad drop on the wedge. So I think this continues. It definitely could. Real support's at 350. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be support levels down here. That's just an ugly looking chart. Look at that. Look at that gap down to that wedge. So 700 first. If we crack 700, guys, I think there's going to be more. All right. What is top and bottom line? Top line is revenue. Bottom line is EPS, right? Because if you look at a financial statement, right, the top line is like your gross revenue. It's revenue. It's before expenses. Your bottom line is what's actually profiting, right? What are you actually profiting after all of your expenses? So top line, bottom line. Just think about it as in like top line revenue is, what before anything, what did you actually bring in revenue? Excuse me. So when you hear top and bottom line is revenue, bottom line is your profit. What did you actually bring in profit? So they missed both. They missed on the revenue and they missed on the profit. Some companies will beat top line. They'll have more revenue, but they miss bottom line because they have maybe more expenses than expected. Or vice versa, right? So you have a miss on top line, not enough revenue, but you beat on the bottom line because you sort of keep some of the expenses lower and you're able to still beat the profit target. All right. Anyways, you guys probably already know that. AbbVie. Insanity, man. Insanity. So as you guys know, I had 110 calls right here, all the way down here. 110. Crazy. I had 110 calls expiring in, what was my expiration? Was it January? I think it was January. I had January, the monthly contracts. And I got out of them around 135, 136, I believe, right before this little dip. And this dip happened because XLV was starting to lose some steam. And so I was looking at XLV. I said, hey, XLV looks like it's over here. XLV looks like it's losing some steam. Look at this pullback. I think it might be time to just take my profits on AbbVie here. However, nope. This stock is still going higher. Congratulations to shareholders. This is a pretty incredible move to the upside. Yeah, pretty crazy upside move. I took 110 calls back in October because it dropped ridiculously off of basically some news that came out about one of their drugs, which I thought was an opportunity. When a stock like AbbVie drops 13%, it's usually an opportunity. That's just what I felt like at the time. And it's a stock I've always loved. It's just a great stock, provides a great dividend. Investors love it. It just continues to go higher. Great healthcare name, solid company. And so I bought 110 calls back in October. And I just held them until January. It's huge. It's still going higher. Continue to watch it, guys. It's a strong healthcare name. Just keep an eye on the XLV. I've always wanted to see a pullback on this. Maybe this was your pullback opportunity. It didn't quite get back to the retest level. It was very close. Didn't quite get back to that retest level. It was very close. It came back to 139.44, and it looks like the retest level was like 138. So it almost got back to it, but it did not. That was your pullback opportunity. So I would just look for another pullback opportunity here and see if you can get into this name. But yeah, very strong stock. I would definitely recommend, I don't want to recommend, I would give you the idea of adding it to your long-term portfolio. Just an idea. What's the Nasdaq doing? We're dropping. Yeah, we're dropping a little bit. Basically to the pre-market lows, guys. You guys got to zoom out a little bit. You guys have got to zoom out a little bit. Just a friendly help reminder of zooming out just a little bit. I promise it'll help your trading. This is not a sell-off. It is a drop. But if we drop below yesterday's lows, then it's a little different. If we drop below yesterday's lows, and we drop below, yesterday's lows, guys, that's the key. If we drop below yesterday's lows here, then yes, I would say this is a little bit aggressive. So watch yesterday's lows, right here, 14,385. Yesterday's lows would be not good. ES, yesterday's lows around 44.23. You don't want to see that. If you drop below yesterday's lows, you're probably going to move back lower. So yesterday's lows, guys, that's the key for all these markets. Watch the previous day lows. YM as well. Yeah. Previous day lows. That's what I would watch. All right. Finally, XLE. So guys, here's how you play XLE. If you see any type of news, or if you think that Russia and Ukraine continues to come out with concerning headlines, then you look at XLE for upside. That's literally what's been going on. It's whenever you have the tensions that start to come back, XLE moves higher. Whenever things feel like Russia and Ukraine are not going to attack each other, XLE moves lower. So if we get any type of news, I know XLE's been pretty extended here. If we get any type of news that there is Russia and Ukraine not going to be, in a conflict, this is absolutely going to pull back. So XLE will pull back off that. So just be careful there. You are basically trading that news if you're trading XLE. It's been very correlated to those headlines right now. So a couple of days ago, we got some news that Russia and Ukraine were starting to sort of not get into battle anymore. They were sort of just not doing anything, and this is when the market fell. Back on Monday and Tuesday. Then we got news that maybe they're not coming back. Maybe they're still gonna be in battle or still have a conflict, and we got a big spike on XLE again. So just watch that. Also watch oil, right? Oil futures actually taking a hit this morning, huh? I didn't even see that. Why are oil? Wonder. I gotta get more updated on what happened this morning on that Russia-Ukraine news. But yeah, big oil drop this morning. Not sure if I missed out on something here. What did I miss? Iran talks return to more supply maybe. Iran talks that are bearishly offsetting Russia-related risk. There's no shortage of volatility in oil market forces combining to create very lively conditions. Okay, so this is Iran talking about coming back to spotlight. So more supply. So anytime you have talks, anytime there's a opportunity of more supply in the oil market, you're always going to get the drop. I believe that's what this is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that seems to be what it is. So it looks like we got a little overnight drop on oil because of that. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that is what I have today. To recap before we get into some of your guys' tickers here, to recap, it's just another day that you have to watch the market and just see what is going on. What's gold up to? Yeah, gold's been pushing. I remember someone in our chat has been actually sort of reminding everyone to watch gold here. So whoever that was, you're spot on. Gold is starting to get that push. You got that little uptrend on the bottom here. It's been holding higher lows for a long time. Yeah, gold might actually move here. Nice little wedge. We'll see if it does. Rich, I don't know, man. I don't know. What's your motive? Oh my God. What's the motive? It's just, I try to ignore it, but it's just so annoying. I gotta take it off. So gold, nice little push on gold. Let's see what happens there. So overall, guys, to recap today, I think you just got to watch it again, and you just can't make big decisions here because the market's just so indecisive. It's so indecisive. So let's see what happens. If we break below yesterday's lows, then I would say, or that's not yesterday's lows. If we break below yesterday's lows down here, then I would say more downside. And then just look at all this resistance above. It's just a ton. I don't see it going anywhere. Am I closing? No, I'm not going to close my Nvidias. They're going to be down probably 95%. So what's the point? All right, let's go over some of the stocks that you guys want to look at, and then let's get out of here. If you guys could take a second, press the like button, that would be great. All right, guys, daily chart on Microsoft. This is just another stock that just is not doing anything. I don't see the reason to even expose yourself to risk here. I don't believe it is worth exposing yourself to risk here if you are not in Microsoft. I don't think it's even worth it. It's just not going anywhere. Keep buying the dip. Yeah, I would buy the dip. I am buying the dip. What do you mean? There's people there's different things of buying the dip, right? Are you buying the dip with money you can't afford to lose, or are you buying the dip with small amounts of money that you can over time dollar cost average into, right? There's proper ways of buying a dip, and then there's irrational ways of buying a dip. So it's not just buy the dip. It's focus on managing your portfolio while accumulating shares. So Microsoft pullback, nice little consolidation. It's just not quite going anywhere, so I don't want to see anyone get into it here. It's just sort of dead. All right? It's just sort of dead. Right? Look at what it's doing look at what it's done for a month now almost. It's just not doing anything. So, yeah, I mean, I buy shares of this on a weekly basis, but, do I care on shares? Absolutely not. But, for options, guys, this is when I talk about, options in general. For options, I would not be a buyer of option calls here on Microsoft or puts. It's just, I would probably play some type of, maybe some condors like Mr. TNC says. It's just too sideways. So, You know, you're not getting that premium expansion. You're not getting the premiums. It's just not worth it. SOS. I don't know. What is this stock? I have no idea. SOS. What is SOS? Is it a Bitcoin stock? Let me see. SOS. SOS Ltd. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But it looks like some 92-cent stock. If it's pushing higher on that, maybe just the momentum. But yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not going to do that one. I don't know enough about that company or the momentum. It's just a penny stock, so guys. So trade it as if it was a penny stock. FedEx. Fake mining company. That's good. So FedEx, that's not a good sign right there, guys, on FedEx. You guys can see right there, 1, 2, 3, nice little support. Actually, let me redraw that. It's right around there. You can see right here, 1, 2, 3, nice little uptrend was forming, and then boom, cracked it. Not good. Not good to see that crack to the downside. You got to watch this. You got to watch this. 227, 216, or 218. That's where you got to watch. If we go to the daily chart, you guys can see that is not a good, that's a bear flag, really big bear flag. Breaking down. Watch 227, watch 218. That's what I'd watch. Yeah, FedEx to 216. Oh, I see what you wrote in here. Yeah. I would probably watch it for 216. Definitely. Good note on there. Just wait for it to, you need it to crack here. 227. You need it to crack there at 227. Airbnb, it pushed higher yesterday, but look at where it's rejecting, guys, right here. Look at that rejection point. Big rejection point. 1 and 2. You need to see it through there. You need to see it through there. 187. That could definitely be a major rejection point. Pepsi off the 100 SMA. Yeah, I've been watching Pepsi. I don't like how it failed to hold this level, though. I don't like how it failed to hold this level. 168. Be careful of it pushing back higher and rejecting 168. That's what you don't want to see. Be careful of the pushback higher, the rejection of 168. That wouldn't be good. Sort of like what Procter & Gamble is doing, but Procter & Gamble actually held. If you're watching Pepsi, you may like P&G better. Look at this hold, right? Look at the difference. See this hold? 1, 2, 3. See how it actually held there and actually continued to continue higher off that level? Look at Pepsi. It sort of failed it, right? It failed, and then maybe it's going to push back higher, right? It failed. Maybe it holds the 100, but you need to get back above that 168. Look at P&G and look at Pepsi. Look at the difference, all right? One held its support and one failed its support. So just keep that in mind. Watch out for that 168 level. All right, guys, that's it. If you guys want to come hang out in the chat, link down below. If you want to, I want to make sure everyone's clear. I have not been taking many trades, so don't join if you're looking for, me to send out 1,000 trade ideas that you can follow blindly on a daily basis. That is not what this is about. I am very strict with what I take and very strict with what I put out in the community, because I don't want to just throw out random crap because I feel like I have to. I only put stuff in the chat that I am taking personally, that I am putting actual money on the line. As of lately, it's been slow. I haven't been taking much risk. I've been mostly adding shares. I've been, protecting capital. And when I find a good opportunity, I'll try to take it, but it has been very slow. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, guys. Not every day in the stock market are you going to find thousands of opportunities. There is nothing wrong. If you guys are having a slow month, if you're having, slow start to the year, nothing wrong with that. Take it at your own pace. Find opportunities that you like, learn, educate yourself, and that's the most important. Expected move on Roku, $22.80 right now. It will change, PA. Let me know in the chat. I know you're in the Discord, aren't you? If you're not, just keep an eye on that. 22.8 right now. All right, guys, it's 9 o'clock. Thank you, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. And stay safe out there. Don't put on risk that you are not willing to take. Don't put on risk if you don't see something you really like. Save your money. I promise you, if the market heats up in 6 months and you lost all your money in this chop fest, you're going to be very upset. Save your money. Wait for the market to heat up. When it does, I promise you'll take advantage of it. Right now, I think it's defensive time, baby. Stay defensive. Shout out to the cult. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.